Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Peace-Eye. Welcome to another video. So this is just going to be a combo video with regards to the Budget Dragon Link deck. I know some of you guys are like, oh, it's not budget, you play Ash and stuff like that. But I got those Ashes when they were really cheap. So anyway, Ash doesn't function as an engine piece or an engine requirement in the deck. I broke out the deck into several different piles that we're going to go over, and then I'll show you a standard combo. But essentially, Ash can be replaced by any tuner, normal summonable hand trap that you have access to. So, with that, let's get into some of the piles. Shout out to Team Bad Cards. Thanks, guys. So, essentially, the full combo can be achieved in various ways. But essentially, you will need a level 4 body and access to Red Rose Dragon. So, these cards are all one-card normal summonable Red Rose Dragons on the field. So you can normal summon Red Rose Dragon, and you have Red Rose Dragon on the field. Or you can normal summon Rox Rose, search Basil Rose Shoot, activate Basil Rose Shoot after linking this off to special summon itself back, and then make Needle Fiber, which summons Red Rose. Or you can normal summon Reflector, search the Assault Beast, and then link into Needle Fiber by special summoning it back, which gets you Red Rose on field. So that's the first pile. Essentially, normal summon giving you Red Rose. Next is the normal summon giving you a level 4. So Silver Rocket and Recharger are both normal summonables, and they're both level 4, which is really nice. You play different names. I would play 2 Recharger, but sometimes you do need to, you already have access to Snow, and you don't want to turn off your Recharger, or you want another card in deck with a different name to summon back. You don't really use it for its effect ever. You'd have to target it with Borland to rip from your opponent's extra deck, but then since it's destroying itself and not being negated by Borland, you wouldn't get to special summon back from the graveyard, so just keep that in mind if you're trying to rip from your opponent's extra deck. There's other ones, but this one has the highest attack, and with Boot Sector Launch on the field, this actually becomes a 2200 body, which is nice. But Recharge is obviously the best level 4. Also, you can normal summon Seyfert, which accesses your baby dragons, white and black. Fairy Tale Snow is another normal summonable monster that's a level 4. So if you have Tuner Extender, this is full combo still. And then finally, the Chamber Dragon Maid, which is another level 4, which can also search you a pseudo extender in the form of Tidying. So that's that. Now we're getting into the special summons. So any of these is usually going to allow you to special summon a level 4 body. Drawing Chaos Space is crazy. I know one of my commenters had mentioned that Chaos Space is a very expensive card. I picked these up when they were like a few dollars. So unfortunately, they might be a little bit pricier now, but I don't know if you can really play this deck without it. You would have to replace it with some other type of level 4 extender. Like, I guess, Photon Thrasher, or that Cybers card that you activate it and you special summon a level 4 token, or maybe even Danger Monsters, but then you're decreasing the consistency of the deck, and nothing will match Chaos Space, because not only does it give you dragons, it also lets you draw a free card, and then if you already have access to the babies, it also lets you search Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which can be used as an extender. Speaking of extenders, real quick, I'll just go over those. These are extenders depending on if you have other cards that are playable. If you draw a handful of hand traps and these cards, then they're not going to do anything. But these in conjunction with the proper hand will allow you to perform other actions. So we've got Chaos Dragon Levianeer. If you have lights and darks in the graveyard, you can special summon it and use its crazy effects. I like to play it. Other versions of Dragon Link like this don't like to play it, but we get to play 50, so we get to throw in random garbage that is useful as utility later on. Noctil Vision, this you need to special summon a Dark Dragon in order to get it as a body on the field. Also in the graveyard, it can protect your Tidying or your set Called by the Grave or any other set, spell, and trap that you're trying to protect. Absolrouter. This is usually what you're sending off of the Dragon Ravine if you do not already have access to a Rocket Tracer or whichever rocket you're missing. But if you are normal summoning a rocket and this is in your hand, you can special summon it to the field. So that's why it's a situational. Another situational is Dragon Ravine and Boot Sector Launch. Depending on the rest of your hand, these can be extenders, but not always by themselves. Basil Rose Shoot, obviously if you hard drew one of the roses, this can be a pseudo extender. And then like I mentioned before, Tidying, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon Dragon Chambermaid from your hand or graveyard in defense position. So that's pretty useful, and then it's bounced at the end of the turn, but usually it's leaving the field. Next, really quick, going over like the absolute bricks. So like you don't really want to see any of these. Sure, this is a level 4 body, but that's not what you want to use it for. If you're normal summoning this to have a level 4 body, then I'm afraid that you are not doing too well. But yeah, you got to play the driver because obviously we don't own the Punk package, so budget, which is why we're playing the Assault Beast and the Assault Mode Activate. I'm pretty sure these are like worth like almost zero. People will give these to you for free, but it's such a good engine. And then finally the Omni Dragon Brotar, which is just really good to summon off of Nib or off of Recharger if it's already engraved, and it protects your life points. I just love this card, but a lot of people say it's incorrect in Dragon Link. I don't think so. All right, so then we've got cards that are just to defend you. There's nothing that these will extend you with unless you're extremely lucky. Called by the Grave, this is literally just to out like hand traps and your opponent's Golden Lord and, you know, just cards that are in the graveyard, like whatever their target is for the branded in red. Just banish it, it helps you out. 3 Nibiru, this is to protect your life points. A lot of times I feel a lot more comfortable with my combo if I end up with Nibiru in my hand, which is why I think this is really good. Obviously, you can replace this if you have like cross-out designators and add cross-out designators, or this can be something else that can defend you, like Battle Fader or something, but I wouldn't recommend that. I like these. These are like what's really good at protecting you. And then finally, Gamma. If your opponent is silly enough to activate a monster effect when you don't have any monsters on the field, then you get to use this as a way to make either Pepega Ruler, Chaos Ruler, or you can make Crystron Helki Firebrax, which does happen. It happened in tournament. Someone did not respect the Gamma. I Gamma'd them, and I not only get to resolve my other effect, but I also get 2 free bodies on the field, one being a tuner, so I can either Synchro Summon with them to make a level 8, or go into Crystron Helki Firebrax or Needle Fiber to get red rolls on the field. Next up are normal summonable tuners. So this by itself, if you have it in your hand, you have if you have an extender, you can normal summon this, and it'll allow you to actually make Needle Fiber, and then you just have to put a level 4 body on field, and then you're good to go. And then obviously this has the effect to pop something on the field to special summon your very heavy rocket engine. I swear by the very heavy rocket engine. Same thing, it's a tuner. I love that it has a name of Rocket, because in the grind game, you can actually access a lot of your engine later on by summoning this off of Needle Fiber and then linking up into Quad Boral to bring back your pieces. And you can even use Recharger to special something back. So Rocket Synchron is very important. It also is one of the only ways besides Effect Veiler to Synchro Summon into your Hot Red Dragon, which is really nice. And since it has Rocket in the name, it can also be summoned back by Boral End. And sometimes its normal summon effect could come up, I imagine, since we do play Pepega Ruler, which it can summon back with its effect, and lock you into Dark Monsters, or you could bring back Chaos Dragon Levianeer, or you can bring back Absorrouter or Noctivision. So there's a lot of targets that it can bring back if you're normal summoning it, but don't forget that that effect actually negates the effects of the monster that you bring back, and it also locks you into Darks from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Next up, 3 Ash Blossom. So like I said, you can replace this with any other normal summonable tuner hand trap. There's Ghost Ogre, which is good against Adventure and stuff. This is just generic, and I like it. You can even probably replace this with DD Crow. It'll make your deck slightly less consistent, but at least if you mill it off of Pepega Ruler, that's another card that you can add to your hand. And then finally, Effect Veiler. I love that it's a light. So good. Targeted Negation. I wish there was room in this deck for Imperm too, because Targeted Negation is so flipping good. So these are the normal summonable cards. And then next up, we've got the level 4/tuner extenders. So if you see this in your hand, it's either a tuner on board or it's a level 4 body. Because we play a lot of different rockets, we can summon, you know, like a tuner, like a recharge, or like a synchron or a tracer, or you could summon a level 4 like your recharger or your silver rocket. So essentially, this is just a really good extender that can summon either one. And then finally, the one card not using your normal summons, which gives you Needle Fiber. So these are like the best cards in the deck, and you absolutely want to see these because these get you your level 1 psychic monster that is the Reflector, which is Needle Fiber by itself. And it thins your deck out, which is really nice as well. This, obviously, you activate in draw phase because just like Branded Opening, you want to do your searching as much as possible in the draw phase so that your opponent's droll is a little bit less effective. Because if you get drolled by activating the effect of Reflector in main phase, you won't be able to activate Assault Beast to search the Assault mode activate, and that part of your engine will be dead. So make sure, if you're using this deck and you're using this specific combo, that you always do that in draw phase to play around the drolls, because they are running around. And then 1-for-1, I really like it. When I was testing with my friends, they told me that this is probably cuttable, but at the end of the day, this is so versatile because not only can it get you your Reflector, but if you need it, it can get you Brotar, it can get you Effect Veiler, I mean, it can get you a level 1 tuner, or it can just extend. It's just crazy. All right, so finally, after 11 minutes, those of you that waited, you know what? I'm going to put a marker in the, or not a marker, I'll just put in the description, or maybe a pinned comment or something, that the combos start at that point. So, I mean, I would love to shuffle and give you guys a random hand, but I want to show you guys what the basic combo is. Essentially, any way to get to a level 4 on board and tuner access. So what's a way to get a tuner? I guess let's go quick launch Chaos Space. Now I know like you guys are like, oh, that hand is cracked, but I just went over everything and I showed you that there's so many ways to get to the combo that you need, which is access to Red Rose Dragon and a level 4 body, that it's just, it's free. So, anyway, with this, we're going to start with our Chaos Space. We're going to pay cost. This is going to let us search out our Black Dragon. So we're going to get Black Dragon Collapse Serpent to our hand. And that's really nice. So at this point, we're going to banish our Psy-Frame Gear Gamma to special summon the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Next up, we're going to activate Quick Launch to special summon a tuner from our deck. Now, you may be inclined to summon Tracer off of here, but if the combo goes off, then you automatically win. So you play this as if your combo will go off. I summon Rocket Synchron off of this, not Rocket Tracer. It does help to have Rocket Tracer in rotation because you can bring it back with Pisty and whatnot, but that's not guaranteed. Here, let me show you the graveyard as well. Oops, sorry. That is not guaranteed that you're going to have access to your Pisty play to bring back the Tracer. You're going to search Tracer anyway. I'd rather have this engraved because this is a separate name. I'm already searching Tracer later in the combo, and if I don't have access to Rocket Synchron, then it's very difficult to go into the Hot Red, which I do like to end on. So there's so many different nuances that I would love to go over, but it's not going to be possible. So at this point, you've got your 2 monsters that you're going to link up into Crystron Helki Fibrax. So this is your access to Red Rose Dragon. Gosh, there's got to be a way where you can see all this. Let's try this. And then just like that. There we go. All right, so your Crystron Helki Fibrax is Chainlink 1 and Chainlink 2. let's go over here a little bit, is going to be your Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. So that is going to chain block your Christian Helki Fibrex. You're going to get your White Dragon to your hand, and then you're also going to summon your Red Rose Dragon to the field. So this is one of the most broken monsters in the game, speaking of tuners, because of what it does. So you can go ahead and banish your Black Dragon at this point for the White Dragon Wyvern Burster. And at this point, you can also Chaos Space to put back the Black Dragon at the bottom of your deck and draw a free card. So which card can we draw that will do absolutely nothing for us at this point? We haven't normal summoned, so let's get something absolutely garbage right now. Let's just get, like, Nibiru, because that won't really do anything. We're not going to normal summon Nibiru. So right now, we don't have a normal summon in our hand. All right. Anyway. From this point... oh, yeah, and you could have done this combo without Quick Launch. At any point, you could have just had a normal summon of a tuner monster, like an Effect Veiler or an Ash Blossom. You could have normal summoned that, and it would have functionally done the same thing, except it would not have preserved our normal summon. Anyway, so this is the cream of the crop. This point is where the combo shines. This is what you will do. And once you do that, it accrues so much advantage that the rest is essentially guaranteed. So you're going to Synchro Summon for level 7. This summons Shooting Riser Dragon. Now, in case of a quick effect from the hand, Book of Moon type of effect, I never summon this to the link zone that Helki Fibrex points to. I usually summon it way over here, but I just want to keep it on camera for you guys. If you're going first, the zones don't matter as much because I don't think there's any effects in the hand as a hand trap that can Book of Moon monsters during turn 0. But remember, if you're playing into a board, summon this over here because Fairy Tale Snow and Book of Moon are kind of running around in the format. Book of Moon and Fluanderies, and then Fairy Tale Snow and literally everything else, including this deck. So, at this point, you're going to make your chain links. The most important thing is to keep this body on board, and then to also have your Rox Rose summoned from deck. So, to set up your chain links, you need to set up Shooting Riser as chain link 1 to secure your Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard as much as possible, because if this gets gammed, you lose the body and you lose the Fairy Tale Snow. So this is very important. Fairy Tale Snow keeps you alive and ensures that you can combo again next turn. So Chainlink 1, like I said, Shooting Riser Dragon to dump Fairy Tale Snow. Chainlink 2, Red Rose Dragon to special summon from deck. Chainlink 3, White Dragon Wyvern Burster to search. So you're going to search off Chainlink 3. Off Chainlink 2, you're going to summon the Rox Rose Dragon. Remember, you want it all the way over here at the end zone because you don't want to get Book of Moon flipped. There's just small things to remember for optimization. And then Chainlink 1 resolves, which dumps your Fairy Tale Snow so that you can, really disrupt your opponent. This is one of the best disruptions in this deck because you can resolve it 3 or 4 times, depending on the hand, on your opponent's turn, because there's ways to remove it from the field once it comes onto the field. Either by tributing it off of Hermetic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. You don't have to tribute itself for Hermetic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Also, you can pop it with Rocket Tracer, which you're resummoning back off of the Boar Lens to negate one of your opponent's effects. So that actually turns into another body and another Snow Disruption. And you usually end on IP Masquerena. If you do not have access to your Tidying during your combo, make sure you prioritize summoning IP Masquerena. I cannot stress that enough, guys. This is extremely important to end on IP Masquerena because you will have options. You can usually end on a Hot Red and a Savage, or an IP and a Savage, or an IP and a Hot Red. But make sure IP is on your board if you do not have Tidying, Dragon-made Tidying. Do you know why? Because if your opponent sets a monster, that will force your hand. That Albaz Fusion is out there. Alba, or whatever it's called. I have it in my pile of cards over there. I'll go grab it for you guys. This card, Alba Lenitus, the Abyss Dragon. This happened to me in tournament. I still got first place because my opponent doesn't have OTKing power like I do. But this card's insane. If they set a card, you immediately need to get rid of it with your Tidying or IP into Unicorn and spin it back into the deck. Because your opponent can contact fuse. If that set card is Fallen of Albaz, your entire board, everything that you've worked for is gone. They contact fuse it away, and there's nothing you can do about it. That is why you 100% need to end on either IP or Dragon Maid tidying. There is no other way around it. I want to bring that home. That is why I'm stressing that so much. I would not take this much time of the freaking combo video in order to stress that. This card is out there. Despia branded is probably the best deck of the format. You're going to see this. I saw it in tournament, and it was only 5 rounds. 1 Fallen of Albaz plus 1 or more dragon monsters. Can't be used as fusion material. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above monsters from any monsters to the graveyard. Contact fuses away the board, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. I just want to make sure I stressed that, because I don't want you guys coming crying to me saying like, oh no, you fused my board away. Yeah, I told you. Anyway, let me put this back. So, on summon of Roxrose Dragon, that will allow you to search your Basil Rose Shoot, which will act as another body. Gotta love it. Where is that Basil Rose Shoot? All right, here it is. Neato. All right, so at this point, you're going to start link summoning. You're going to first link summon your Shooting Riser Dragon or your Roxrose Dragon into your Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon is going to allow you to search your boot sector launch. Your little pseudo extender. There you go. Then you're going to go ahead and summon Pisty. This can bring back a myriad of things. So many different cool things that can be in your graveyard at this point that get their effects, like a chamber that you somehow got to the graveyard, or your banish zone. Like if you started with Chaos Space Chamber, that's insane, because at this point you can special summon it back. This combo, the way we started off, didn't end up like that, or with Brotar or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring back any dragon from our graveyard. It doesn't matter. At this point, we're going to link Pisty with something else. We want to get rid of the Dragon Lock as soon as possible in case we get interrupted and we need to go into something else. Some people might want to play Apollosa if they don't have the full extra deck for this point, but there's the extra deck is pretty cheap. I mean, Borland Dragon is the newest card, and this is like literally $1. So anyway, Romulus, we'll go ahead and search your Dragon Ravine. Oh yeah, Droll kills this deck really hard. Like, this deck adds so much. At one point in the my combo in the tournament, I had like 9 cards in hand and 4 cards on field. Like, it just pluses so hard, it's insane. So at this point, you've got enough to make your Borland, but what I enjoy doing is making Borland in the main monster zone so that I can still summon Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. The Adventurer build of this deck usually has a Fleur on field, so they don't really have the extra body in order to summon the Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. So some people are even cutting it. I know Jake is probably cutting his from his Dragon Link Adventurer deck, but we're not playing Dragon Link Adventurer. We're playing more of a pure build. So we're going to go ahead and use our Basil Rose Shoot right now because we don't need it for anything else. Bring back either Roxrose or Red Rose. Remember when you're using this, just little application things, that since it does not target, and it can special summon from hand, that if your opponent DD Crows or Called by the Graves, one of your targets, the other target is still alive. Obviously, that's not going to happen within the combo, but in niche scenarios. That's the nuances that make this deck good. You have to be able to know what to do in certain scenarios. Just like with the Albaz fusion, this deck is nothing without knowing how to combat the meta. If you don't know what your opponent's deck does, it doesn't matter if you make an unkillable board because you won't know what to negate. And most decks these days, with how high the ceiling of the game is, will be able to crack your board. That's why it's important to know what all the decks do. At this point, we're going to go ahead and use our 3 monsters to make Borland Dragon in the main monster zone. Pretty cool, huh? We're going to activate our Dragon Ravine, and we're going to pitch the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent to pitch the Absorauter Dragon. Absorauter Dragon is going to go ahead and search a Rocket Tracer. I told you we would search Rocket Tracer. Make sure you can see all the graveyard and stuff. And then look at how much food for snow you have. And we're not even done yet. So at this point, you're going to use Borland Dragon's effect to negate Striker Dragon, because you're not going to use the effect to add it back. And we're going to special summon our Rocket Synchron. So if you didn't start with a Rocket monster, you're going to have to use some other form of extender, or you're just not going to have to end, you're not going to get to end on Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Because that's what we're going to do next. Before we lock ourselves into dark monsters, we're going to special summon the last non-dark in the rest of our combo, Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. To get more arrows, I usually have it over here, but that's kind of off camera, so I'll just put it here right now, just for you guys, just so you can see. Let me move this back a little so you can see Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. All right. So at this point, you've got your awesome negate / extender. You've got Fairy Tale Snow with a bunch of food, and you've got your Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres bounce, and you've got your Rocket Tracer and your Boot Sector launch with 3 other cards in your hand. Who cares what those are, because you don't even need the rest of those cards. This combo's insane. Go ahead and activate Boot Sector launch. If you have a way to save your Boot Sector launch, then definitely save it. But if you don't, then it's okay to pop it with Rocket Tracer. You special summon Rocket Tracer off of Boot Sector launch, and you go ahead and activate Boot Sector, or the Rocket Tracer to special summon your Recharger from deck. Now, this is very inconspicuous, but at this point, you can do several things. I usually go for Pepega Ruler at this point, because that usually gets me into a way to extend a little bit further. And like I said, you always want to end on IP. But at this point, if you want to be safe, I would just go straight for IP at this point. Obviously, in tournament, you're not going to brick like this and just have just the combo. You're going to have other extenders and ways to protect yourself. And remember, if you hard draw Fairy Tale Snow, if you can get in Graveyard, it becomes a great extender for your combo by giving you extra link material that you can use. But since we didn't have Tidying, I cannot stress this enough to put IP Masquerena on board. So, your opponent sets, you don't need to use IP right away. What you can do is, in the open game state, you can go ahead and you can go ahead and activate Fairy Tale Snow, special summon it, then use IP to be co-linked with your Borland, so you're not losing any real card advantage. You're getting to draw a free card and dumping a brick or whatever you don't want in your hand. And you're spinning that Albaz, which is really nice. But like I said, for the rest of the extra deck, there's many ways. These are mainly for your opponents to die. So you got your Nightmare Unicorn, and then your Access Code Talker for the Crackback. Triple Burst is absolutely necessary for if you do not have another dragon that's level 4 or lower to make the Pisty and Striker, or if you've already used Striker, you can actually just make the Pisty and then use the Needle Fiber and your other card to make the Triple Burst, which lets you special summon to the Pisty's Arrow. But that combo does end up with Borland in the extra monster zone, usually, because we don't have a way to move this out of the extra monster zone, because I decided not to play the World Legacy Guard Dragon continuous spell. Although that would be freaking good in this deck, honestly, because it puts another dragon on board, and you can move stuff, which is nice. Quad Boral sometimes comes up in the combo. It puts another extra body engrave, but just make sure that you're using it when you're done link summoning your Link 2s. So make sure your IP's already on board, and it's not as hard as it looks to get that on board. And then you've obviously got your Chaos Ruler, your Borreload Savage Dragon, and your Hot Red. So that's the reason I like to get the Rocket Synchron engrave, because Borland Dragon can special summon it back. So right now we're already at 29 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't even know if I have time for a general shuffled combo. Watch, I brick or something crazy like that. But this deck very rarely bricks, if at all. Like, almost never. I'm going to do a quick shuffle for you guys. The deck's basically in order, so that's going to suck. Let's see. This should be able to give us something, right? If it bricks, you guys are never going to let me get over this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. We got Cyframe Gear Gamma, which can protect some of our plays. At this point, oh man, and we drew Dragon Ravine. That's kind of poopy. But this hand does combo. We're going to go ahead and activate Chaos Space. We're going to get rid of our Gamma here? No. We're going to Dragon Ravine first. We're going to dump the snow to dump abs. And then abs effect. And at any point in this, your opponent does anything to you, you can go ahead and activate Gamma. And abs is going to get your Tracer. So normally we would want to grab Synchron, but we don't. We're using our ab search already, so we're gonna need to keep that. So at this point, you can go ahead and Chaos Space, get rid of Tracer to grab white. And then at this point, you're not safe against hand traps anymore. You can go ahead and banish your abs for white dragon. And then you can normal summon your Rox Rose Dragon, which allows you to search for your Basil Rose Shoot. So in this combo, you're probably not going to use Red Rose Dragon. Or, well, you're technically going to use it, but it's not going to resolve its effect to special summon from deck, which is unfortunate, but that's honestly fine. So you can either go for Needle Fiber here, or you can synchro straight into the dragon. But we do want that body on board. So I'm going to link these up into Needle Fiber, Christian Hulky Fibrex. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, that's going to get us black and the red rose. You could even summon Ash here. It doesn't matter as long as it's a level 3. Banish White Dragon, special summon. Activate Chaos Space to put white on the bottom and draw a free card. We drew Tidying, so now we don't have to make IP, which is nice. And that's also your main deck out to Mystic Mine. So at this point, we've got our 2 dragons. We're going to link up into Striker, which searches our boot sector launch. And we're going to link up into Pisty. Actually, we should have done that the other way so that we could chain block Striker Dragon with Black Dragon Collapse Serpent's effect to search. But at that point, we're just going to grab White Dragon Wyver Burster. So now you don't have access to your Tracer in any way unless you pop Striker Dragon or pop Pisty to grab back the Tracer from your hand to use Boot Sector launch. But since we don't want to do that, we're going to go ahead and use Pisty to special summon the Tracer. And now at this point, you have to use your other monsters in order to make the Borland. So you're going to use Basil Rose Shoot, bring back whichever one you want. And then since we don't have enough cards to banish for Fairy Tale Snow, we're not going to be able to use that effect to extend one yet. And also you've got your Pisty on board, so you would have had to pop Pisty with Striker Dragon and add back the Tracer anyway. But in this combo, the way that the hand worked out, we're not going to get Heavenly Spheres, but at least we get to keep our Boot Sector launch in our hand for the following turn if they do crack our board. At this point, we're going to... there's no reason to make Romulus here, so we're just going to link off all of these 4 monsters, including a Link 2 for our Borland Dragon. At this point, we're going to go ahead and pop Ravine with Tracer's effect. Really unfortunate that we don't end on Seal. That's the one difference between this deck and the Adventurer build. So at this point, we're going balls to the wall. We can always summon back the Pepega Ruler later and then negate its effects to bring back like a Rocket Tracer or something at this point. So we feel really safe to go Pepega Ruler here. There's no reason to go for Savage right away. This can add a hand trap, and we're guaranteed another negate. So Pepega Ruler will mill 5. Another Chaos Space for follow-up. That's nice. Effect Failure is really good. Cyframe Driver, another Light Engrave, Chaos Space, and Omni Dragon Brotar. So we're definitely going to add the Effect Failure here because we already used our normal summon, which was Fairy Tale Snow, I believe. Or no. Yeah. No, it was Rockshrows. Oh, and that's another cool thing. You can use your normal summon effects because we're not playing the adventure package. So anyway, at this point, since we already used our Chaos Space, we can't draw a free card. We can go ahead and negate the effect of our Borland Dragon, or use Borland to negate the Pepega Ruler to bring back the Tracer or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Then you can go ahead and link these two off for your Quad Boral. You could bring back your Chaos Ruler, but it's not really necessary since you don't have IP on board. You could bring it back essentially to guarantee that you have an extra bounce for tidying, but Borland can always bring back one of your other rocket monsters anyway, usually bringing back Rocket Recharger or Rocket Tracer to pop your Fairy Tale Snow. So at this point, we would just discard a card that we're not going to need. At this point, I would probably discard Gamma. It adds light into the graveyard, and then everything else in our hand is usable to destroy our Quad Boral. That's going to bring back our Rocket Tracer and our Rocket Recharger. At this point, if we did not go through white and black, you could use Recharge's effect to target Quad Boral, bring back Brotar, and discard something and search that, and possibly extend that way. But at this point, it's not really necessary. I mean, technically, there is a slight weird play since we drew Dragon Maid Tidying. It's these small interactions that can help you out. You can go ahead and use Recharger to bring back Brotar. Brotar, target Tracer. Discard the Tidying to search a Dragon Chambermaid. Then banish the Tidying, special summon the Chambermaid from your hand to search the second Tidying. And then you can synchro those two, the Chamber and the Rocket Tracer for the Savage to equip your Crystron Needle Fiber. And then you have a Brotar on field that's not doing anything, but since you had to use Quad Boral to get there, you're not going to be able to use the Chaos Ruler that you can bring back as link material, so we're not going to do that. I don't know if that made sense, but it made sense in my head. So, from this point, we're going to Synchro Summon for Borreload Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon is going to equip our strongest, highest linking monster, which is Crystron Healthy Fibrax. You're going to set your Tidying. So that bricky hand ended on 1 negate in the form of Borland Dragon, 2 Borreload Savage, 3 Effect Veiler, 4 the Dragon Maid Tidying Bounce, 5 Fairy Tale Snow, and technically 6 with Fairy Tale Snow because you're able to pop the Fairy Tale Snow with your special summoned Rocket Tracer after you use your Borland effect. So, yeah. Even bricks end up with that many disruptions. The most disruptions I've ever ended on was 10, including the Fairy Tale Snow flipping face down 4 times. So, yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe for more videos. Bye-bye.